A Stuart 7A model steam plant, part 29, the first live steam test. In the last episode I showed the plant running on compressed air and it seemed to run okay. I noticed though that when I moved the hand pump it felt like it was pumping water, but when I turned on the air supply to the steam pump that didn't appear to be pumping at all. Even though my hand's in the way, you can clearly see that the ball was stuck on the seat, and when I prodded it with my scriber, suddenly a lot of water came out of there. The water was bubbling out of the check valve because I was operating the hand pump lever at the time. In this clip, as I operate the hand pump, you can see the water going down in the water gauge, and it goes down even faster when I turn on the steam pump. At this stage though, I'm still using compressed air, not steam. I'm going to take a closer look at this steam pump. It doesn't seem to be running as smoothly as it did previously. I made a video quite a while ago showing this pump in steam and pumping water, albeit just round in a circle from the tank back to the tank. But now with the water under pressure, two things are happening. The gland is leaking on the water side of the pump. This is not unusual and possibly it's just the gland nut that needs tightening. You will notice that the 7A steam engine is running quite well as usual. This really is a very good example of a Stuart 7A steam engine. It runs beautifully. If I want to be critical, maybe it's running slightly quieter in forward than it is in reverse. And even though, to be honest, it's still a bit tight, it runs very smoothly. Back now to the pump. I'm removing the water from the small reservoir in the casting. The owner of the plant did ask me if I could drill a hole in this casting to drain it into the sump. And I don't want to do that because it's not an original feature. I think what I'll do is have a look at the gland. I was going to say, to my surprise, there is no gland packing in here, but then again, I wasn't surprised. Time I think to fit some. I'm going to fit some of the old school graphited yarn. The new stuff is horrible, this old stuff is quite good. This is a method I generally use these days for fitting gland packing, the right angled end of my scriber. Sometimes I use a very thin bladed screwdriver, but there's not much space when I'm packing the gland on this pump, so I'm using the scriber. After I'd persuaded the gland packing to go into the slot around the piston rod, I refitted the gland nut. For tightening this type of gland nut, it's a good idea to use a C-spanner, but I didn't have one of those. Well, I did, but not in this size. So I simply squared off the end of a piece of brass and tapped it round using a very, very small hammer. And in no time at all the gland nut is totally undamaged and the graphited yarn gland packing is now firmly held against the piston rod. Before running the pump I applied some oil, and as you can see the oil immediately turns black. That's the graphite from the packing. Now if you listen to the noise that the pump is making, well, it's not the pump you can hear, it's the ball rattling in the hand pump over the other side. When I make the water bypass valve arrangement, I will include a second check valve to stop this from happening. Even though things are not right in the pump department, it's time for a steam test anyway, just to verify that all the piping that I've made works fine. Once I pumped the water into the boiler, it didn't show on the gauge, until I opened the drain valve. So I temporarily turned off the gas and removed the drain valve entirely from the bottom water gauge fitting. And in this clip I'm using a small Allen key to clear the blockage in the fitting itself. This is better than using a drill because there's no chance of the Allen key going all the way through the fitting into the boiler. Once I refitted the valve, everything was fine and the water level is showing accurately in the water gauge. Time now to fill the displacement lubricators, starting with the one on the pump, followed by filling the one that's fitted to the 7A engine. And before I fill the lubricators, I relit the burner. The noise you can hear in the background is called howl. It's very common in gas-fired centre flue boilers, when they're fitted with internal ceramic burners. There are two ways to stop this. One is to turn the gas pressure right down, and the other one is to move the ring on the venturi. This ring slides to partially cover the air holes. The problem is that the combustion becomes not quite as good and carbon monoxide is produced very quickly. The only problem is, never do this if you're running the engine inside. The production of the carbon monoxide is also accompanied by a foul smell coming from the chimney. After a while, the boiler reaches working pressure. So I could try first of all the functions of the engine in forward and reverse. You will also notice that the howling has disappeared. That's because I've turned the pressure of the gas down. I'll stop talking and let you hear the sound of the engine. Well, the engine's running beautifully in both directions. Slightly noisier in one direction than the other, but life is not perfect. This is what I do after the run. I inject some WD-40 into the engine and then follow this with some steam oil. Normally I would blow the WD-40 through the engine first, then blow the oil through the engine second. But for the purposes of the video, I've done it all in one go. Here once again I'm running the engine on compressed air to make sure that all the water in the cylinder is displaced. On the subject of displacement, a displacement lubricator will not supply oil to the engine unless steam is present. So whenever you run a steam engine on compressed air, make sure you can get some oil into the cylinder periodically. So what about the pump? Well, that's not good. The pump needs some attention. I'm quite pleased about this because I'm going to make a separate series. As usual, the shuttle piston in the pump is stuck at one end, and if you've watched some of my other steam pump videos, you will realise that this is not unusual. That's it for this episode. Stay safe, stay well, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists, and by doing that you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.